So this is Dr. T.B. Rao, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, DVS Institute of Technology, Kavali. So today we are going to discuss conductive heat transfer. Or in heat transfer, we discuss about conduction, how conductive heat transfer takes place. Last class we discussed some basics of heat transfer. What are the different modes of heat transfer? Okay, there are three modes of heat transfer: conduction, convection, and radiation. In detail, last class. So today we are going to discuss uh, the conductive heat transfer. And last class we discussed what are the various applications of heat transfer also. Wherever there is a temperature, wherever there is heat energy, there will be application of heat transfer. Not only mechanical engineering, even in the field of electronics, in the field of electrical, in the field of computer science also, it had very wide applications of heat transfer. So recently, with the help of nanofluids also, so there will be so many advanced cooling systems are there. In latest advanced mobile phones, we are using with the help of nanofluids, we are providing a cooling systems for advanced mobiles. The display problem. So So there is a heat diffusion equation. Heat diffusion also is nothing but it's a heat transfer. Diffusion means it is a transfer. Okay. So in heat transfer, so for so already we have discussed Fourier's equation. So rate of heat transfer. So rate of heat transfer through conduction with the already we have discussed there is a Fourier's equation. Using this Fourier's equation, we can calculate conductive heat transfer or heat transfer by conduction. What is this? So Q equal to minus Ka into dou T by dou x. Q equal to minus Ka into dou T by dou x. So this negative sign it represents, okay, the meaning of this negative sign is so heat always it transfers from high temperature to the low temperature. If you take T2 minus T1 means you will get a negative sign. Okay, that is the meaning of this negative sign. That doesn't mean that there is no negative heat transfer. It is meaning is heat transfers from high temperature to the low temperature. So this is the conduction heat transfer equation. So this you can call it as a Fourier's equation, or you can call it as Fourier's law of heat conduction. So in this heat transfer, so there are two types of heat transfer. One is steady state heat transfer and another one is transient. Transient means it is called as unsteady state heat transfer. Okay. So for the same conduction, for the same conductive heat transfer, we have to discuss how heat is transferred in steady state, how heat is transferred in unsteady state or transient heat transfer. Okay. In case of steady state, so there is no change with time at any point of within any medium. So heat cannot change with time. Heat transfer it cannot change with time. So irrespective of time, heat transfer is same. Suppose the best example is body temperature. If you take our body temperature at any point of time, the temperature is always some 98.4 degrees Fahrenheit. The body temperature it cannot change. So don't think that morning there will be some temperature, afternoon there will be some temperature. It's not like this. Body temperature ఎప్పుడు ఒకే విధంగా ఉంటుంది. It is steady state heat transfer. Okay. So if you take a transient heat transfer, this transient heat transfer or unsteady state heat transfer, it changes with time. It changes with the time. Okay. So for this transient heat transfer, the best example is atmospheric temperature. When from sunrise to sunset, sunrise there will be some temperature. When time increases, when it comes to noon, there will be very high temperature. Again, when it comes to sunset, there will be a different temperature. When time changes, temperature also it is called unsteady state or transient heat transfer. Okay. So here in steady state, temperature is not a function of time. It is a function of only x, y, z. It's a coordinates. But in case of unsteady state or transient state, temperature, not only it is a function of x, y, z, it is a function of time also. So in transient heat transfer or unsteady state heat transfer, temperature is a function of time. So this is the difference between a steady state heat transfer and unsteady state heat transfer. And to find out the two-dimensional or three-dimensional heat transfer equations, so we are going to use different coordinate system. A coordinate means a point. Okay. So for here we are going to use Cartesian system, Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical coordinate system. In case of Cartesian coordinate system, here we have taken a rectangular slab. So in rectangular slab, we are applying Cartesian coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate system means there is an x-axis, there is a y-axis, and there is a z-axis. If you take any element, any point So this point will defined by a 3 coordinates x, y, z. That is called Cartesian coordinates. When it is coming to the cylindrical coordinate system, in cylindrical coordinate system, so there will be we take a cylinder. The cylinder had axis. There will be a x-axis and y-axis, and there is a perpendicular axis. Okay, this cylindrical coordinate system, we take another 2 parameters like radius of the cylinder and angle of the cylinder. So here we take r, theta, and z. This is the cylindrical coordinate system. Similarly, there will be a spherical coordinate system also. In spherical coordinate system also, there will be 2 angles, theta and phi, and there will be a radius. So this 3 coordinate system we are going to use to find the 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional heat transfer equations. Okay. So now we'll take a rectangular slab. So one side the temperature is 80 degrees centigrade, other side the temperature will be 70 degrees centigrade. Okay. So in x direction there is a heat transfer. Heat is transferred in x direction. Similarly, on other side there will be some other temperature, 65 degrees centigrade. Heat is transferred in y direction also. Similarly, so this is a, if it is more than one direction, there is a heat transfer that is called multi-dimensional heat transfer. There is more than one direction, there is a heat transfer. It is called multi-dimensional heat transfer. Now we are going to derive an equation for multi-dimensional heat transfer. So heat flux direction. So this heat transfer, conductive heat transfer, already we have discussed Q equal to minus K into dou T by dou x. If it is x direction, Qx equal to minus K into dou T by dou x. If it is in y direction, conductive heat transfer, Qy equal to minus K into dou T by dou y. If it is a z direction, Qz to minus K into dou T by dou z. Okay, like this. In x direction there is some heat transfer, y direction there is some heat transfer, z direction some heat transfer. Total heat transfer equal to Qx plus Qy plus Qz. Total conductive heat transfer Q equal to Qx plus Qy plus Qz. So here heat, not only quantity, it had a direction also. In x direction there is heat transfer, y direction there is heat transfer, z direction there is heat transfer. Since it had a direction, this is a vector. So this is in vector also we can represent this heat transfer in vector form also we can represent as Qx into I plus Qy into j plus Qz into k, where I, j, k are the unit vectors. It represents the direction. Okay. So since Qx equal to minus this, if you substitute here, minus k into dou T by dou x plus minus okay, minus of k into dou T by dou x, dou T by k into dou T by dou z, dou T by, okay. So this minus, if you take as a common factor, if you take minus as a common factor, minus k into dou T by dou x plus dou T by dou y plus dou T by dou z. Okay, this you can write it as a minus k into delta t. Delta t is nothing but dou T by dou x plus dou T by dou y plus dou T by dou z. Like this in simple form also we can represent. So total heat transfer, total conductive heat transfer equal to minus k into delta t. Okay. So the same thing you can represent as Qn. Qn means it is the heat transfer in normal direction. So that we can represent as minus k into dou T by dou n. Dou T by dou n means it is a minus k into dou T by dou n means it is a in normal direction. This is a temperature gradient. Okay. And here what is the n means it is the it is a normal. For what it is a normal means, so if there is a direction, there is a heat flow. if there is a heat flow and some surface, there will be a constant temperature. So for constant temperature, always the heat transfers perpendicular to the constant temperature. Heat transfers always perpendicular to the constant temperature. So here it is mentioned. The direction of heat flow will always be normal to the surface of constant temperature. The direction, so this is a constant temperature surface. The direction of heat flow always perpendicular to this surface. So such kind of, okay, that is, we can call it as that constant surfaces we will call as isothermal surfaces. The direction of heat flow is always perpendicular to this constant surfaces. Okay, so that is isothermal surfaces. So that is the direction of n, where Qn equal to minus K into dou T by dou n. So dou T by dou n is temperature gradient in normal direction. So what is meant by temperature gradient dou T? Dou T is nothing but it's a temperature difference. Dou T is nothing but it's a temperature difference. That is nothing but T2 minus T1 or T1 minus T2. T1 minus T2 we can call it as a dou T, temperature difference. So that is a temperature difference in normal direction. Okay. And from this, so Q equal to K into dou T by dou X. So K you can write it as C. So Q equal to K into dou T by dou X or dou T by dou N, or Q you can write it as Q by dou T by dou N. So K equal to Q by dou T by dou X in X direction. K equal to Q by dou T by dou X. So like this we can find out thermal conductivity. Okay. So in most of the heat transfer, our main object is, in most of the heat transfer, our main object is how to find out K value, how to find out H value, how to find out radiation heat transfer. In thermal conductivity, in conduction, in first unit conduction, our main object is how to find out K value. So in heat transfer lab also, in most of the conduction experiment, you are going to find out how to find out K. How to find out K. Okay. So how you can find out K is nothing but total heat transfer by dou T by dou X. So K is nothing but thermal conductivity. So the rate of heat transfer through a unit thickness of the material per unit area per unit temperature. The K we can define it as the rate of heat transfer per unit area per unit temperature, okay, of the material. We can define it as thermal conductivity. Okay, so thermal conductivity we define like this. So there is thermal conductivity, meaning it is the material's ability to conduct heat transfer at room temperature. Thermal conductivity means it is the material ability to transfer the heat, but there is one more term is there, specific heat. Specific heat means it is the ability to store the energy. To store the energy, we can call it as specific heat. To transfer the heat, we can call it as thermal conductivity. Okay, it had a little bit similar meaning. To store this ability to store the heat, we can call it as specific heat at constant pressure. To transfer the heat, we can call it as thermal conductivity. So thermal conductivity, it is a very important property and parameter in heat transfer. So it is a property. What kind of property? It is a transport property. It is a transfer property. It indicates the rate of at which the energy is transferred by diffusion process. Diffusion also, it is nothing but it is a expansion. It is a transfer. Depends upon this physical structure of the matter, atomic and molecular, and related to of this state of the matter. It depends upon the structure of the material. When structure changes, the rate of transfer also it changes. That we'll see. So here there is one more term, the isotropic material. Isotropic material means, so there is a K value. K In x direction there will be some value, y direction there will be some value, and z direction there will be some value. So x direction you can call it as a kx, y direction ky, and z direction as kz. If kx equal to ky equal to kz, if three k's are equal, kx equal to ky equal to kz, such kind of material we can call it as isotropic material. This is some very important point. If kx equal to ky equal to kz, such kind of material is called isotropic material. Okay. See. So if you observe the different k values, how k value changes. So here there will be some carbon dioxide, it had very low k value. That means it transfers very less amount of heat. So next there will be a fiber. Next there will be a fiber, wood, it had very less k value. Next water, and there will be some other material not visible. It also very less k value. And this alloys had high k value. High k value means it transfers more amount of heat. Silver had still high k value. It transfers more amount of heat. Still gold and graphite. Okay, when k increases, the meaning is it transfers more amount of heat. When k increases, the meaning of k increases means it transfers more amount of heat. See, when temperature increases, k value increases. When temperature increases, k value increases. Okay, so this is in case of gases. In case of liquids, when temperature increases, in case of liquids, temperature k value decreases. So this is also a temperature, how k changes with temperature. In some cases, when temperature increases, the k value increases. In some cases, temperature increases, k value decreases. For different solids, liquids, and gases. Okay. So for gases, k when T increases, temperature increases, k value increases. For aluminum, iron, when k temperature increases, the k value decreases. So for most of the metals, when temperature increases, k value decreases. So pure metals have high K value. Pure metals have high thermal conductivity. Iron had 83 watt per meter Kelvin. Chromium had 95 Kelvin. Okay. And steel. Steel means it is not a pure metal. Steel is a iron plus chromium. It had 62. Okay. So pure iron had very high K value. And alloys of two metals K1 and K2. K1. K2 is less than K1. So here thermal diffusivity is defined as a alpha. Thermal diffusivity is defined as alpha. Okay. So thermophysical properties, K transport property, rho and Cp. Rho means density and Cp is specific heat at constant pressure. Rho Cp is a volumetric heat capacity. So here alpha, how you defined is, alpha is nothing but alpha K by rho Cp. K by rho Cp we can call as a alpha. Alpha is nothing but thermal diffusivity. K by rho Cp we can call it as alpha. So alpha means it is a thermal diffusivity. So the applications of heat diffusion equation determine the temperature distribution in a medium resulting from conditions imposed on its boundaries. The condition heat flux at any point in the medium or in any surface be computed from Fourier's law. Like this, various to find out the temperature distribution or to find out the K values, all these things, we use diffusion equation. Okay. So now we have to find out this diffusion equation or heat transfer equation in for a multidimensional heat transfer. If it is a single dimensional heat transfer, that is Q equal to minus K into dou T by dou X. So for that, so we should take an element. We should take an element, differential element of dx, dy, dz. So this is a small element where dimensions are dx, dy, dz. So this element is at a distance of x from this axis and y from the origin and z from the origin. Okay. And there is at starting of this element, there is a heat transfer of qx at one end, and the other end at a distance of x plus dx, the heat transfer is qx plus dx. Similarly, y direction qy, and at a distance of y plus dy, qy plus dy. Similarly, in z direction qz and qz plus dz. Okay. So how you can write qx plus dx? Qx plus dx, you can write it as qx plus dou by dou x of qx into dx. In differential form, you can write like this. Similarly, qy plus dy, you can write it as qy plus dou by dou y of qy into dy. So, like this z also. Okay. So this is a control volume. So control volume, we have applied the heat transfer, and we have determined what is qs and what is qx plus dx. Sometimes there is a heat generation. If there is a heat generation, that heat generation is heat generation per unit volume into total volume. EG means it is a heat generation per unit volume. Total volume means total volume of the element is dx, dy, dz. And this is storage. This is the storage, the rate of thermal energy storage, that is rho Cp into dou T by dou x into volume. Okay, we will see. So for this particular element, we apply this energy equation. Energy equation equal to, so energy in equal to energy out. Okay, and input energy equal to output energy. So what is the input energy? Energy E in plus the energy generated inside the element equal to, so the energy storage plus E out. This E out, if you bring this side, okay, the change of energy plus energy generation is nothing but the energy stored. Like this also, this energy balance equation you can write. This is nothing but, this governing equation is nothing but energy balance equation. Energy balance equation equal to energy input equal to energy output, or total energy equal to constant. Okay, the change of energy equal to 0. So like this. So this is the energy balance equation. In this energy balance equation, what is the energy? So this is change of energy. What is energy in? Energy in is nothing but qx plus qy plus qz. Energy out is nothing but minus of qx plus dx minus qy plus dy minus qz plus dz, plus this is energy generation within the element, that is Eg into dx, dy, dz equal to energy stored. This is the internal energy stored in this element, that is nothing but rho Cp into dou T by dou T into dou x, dou y, dou y, dou z. So if you simplify this equation, we'll get a differential equation of dou by dou x of k into dou T by dou x plus dou by dou y of k into dou T by dou y plus dou by dou z of k into dou T by dou z plus Eg equal to rho Cp into dou T by dou T. So this is a differential form. Still, this if you simplify, we'll get, this is the differential equation, three-dimensional differential equation for conductive heat transfer. This is the three-dimensional differential equation for conductive heat transfer. Still, if you simplify this one, so here, if Kx equal to Ky equal to Kz, So we'll get this equation, simplified form of this equation like dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus Eg by k equal to 1 by alpha into dou t by dou t. Okay. So here there should, it's not x, it's a y. Okay. So this is Fourier's equation for isotropic material. Dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square by dou z square plus Eg by k equal to 1 by alpha. Here alpha means it is a thermal diffusivity, is nothing but k by rho Cp. If there is no heat generation, this term becomes 0. If there is no heat generation, this equation becomes dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square equal to 1 by alpha into dou t by dou t. This equation we can call it as diffusion equation. Suppose if it is a steady state, what happens? This term becomes 0. Dou t by dou t equal to 0. So then the equation becomes dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square plus Eg by k equal to 0. This equation is called Poisson's equation. Okay, suppose if it is a no heat generation, this term becomes 0. If there is no heat generation, dou square t by dou x square plus dou square t by dou y square plus dou square t by dou z square equal to 0. This equation is called as a Laplace equation. Okay, so from the differential equation, so for different special cases, we derived 4 different equations. That is called Fourier's equation, diffusion equation, Poisson's equation, Laplace equation. This 4 equation represents conduction only. So it's a 3-dimensional conduction for different cases. One is no heat generation, one is steady state, another one is okay. So for different cases, these are the 4 different equations. Okay. So this is about differential equation for conduction. Okay. So today's class we have discussed what is conductive heat transfer, what is Fourier's equation, what is meant by diffusion, what is meant by steady state and unsteady state. Okay. So for multidimensional heat transfer, we have taken a control volume. We applied energy equation. We applied energy balance. So from this, we derive in a differential equation, 3-dimensional differential equation for conductive heat transfer. This is a 3-dimensional differential equation. So if you apply some boundary conditions, we will get, there will be 4 equations. One is for Fourier's equation. Another one is no heat generation, diffusion equation. For steady state, this equation. For steady state and no heat generation, Laplace equation. Okay. So today's class we will stop here. Next class we'll discuss. Today we discuss Cartesian coordinates. Next class we discuss cylindrical coordinates, and we'll discuss something more. Okay. Thank you.